message we shared from 1 Peter today, Ken, he talks about the fact that trials actually can deepen your faith. And I've certainly seen that in your own life, that even as you've walked through this difficulty, it's deepened your faith and your trust in the Lord. Would you agree with that? And if so, how? Tell us.
Yes, it has deepened my faith. Right from the beginning, God was talking to me, and I knew there was something more to that. I knew that He wanted to get my attention, and for me to have this affliction, because I've never been sick in my life. I've never been admitted to a hospital. I've had a cold or a flu once in a while, that's it. And He got my attention. And so because of that, it has deepened my faith.
We talked a lot in the message about how actually trials can bring you to that point where you move in closer intimacy with God. Have you found that to be true in your own life? I certainly think trials can do that in your life if you allow them to. Has that been evidenced in your life as well, Ken?
Definitely, because the fact that if I wouldn't have had this happen to me, I would still be doing what I've been doing. You know, I've been a pretty faithful prayer person through the last 20 years and try to do what I can do as far as helping others. I'm in the care ministry at church. I've been in part of a lot of different ministries at church. But this really was different. It was kind of like God said, you got to pick up the pace. It's not that I have to do more, because I know that doesn't get me anywhere, but I understand more what He's trying to tell me. You know, the sins of my life are forgiven, but I still sin. We all do. And now I know I can go to Him whenever I want to, whether it be in the morning or several times a day, and just ask Him to forgive me for what I just did or the way I communicated with somebody or whatever it might be. And I can tell the difference. I can really tell the difference.
How is the fact that in 1 Peter it talks about this idea that we're sojourners, strangers in this world, we're pilgrims, we're not in a sense from this world. When we know Christ is our Savior, we belong to a whole nother world, we belong to heaven. Has that brought any comfort and peace as you've walked through this time?
Yeah, it's funny you ask that, because about 3 or 4 months ago I had a dream, and it was me sitting on a rock by a creek in Idaho where I grew up with Jesus just talking. And I kind of woke up and I started thinking about that, and I thought, that has got to be what heaven's like when I get there. This, where we are right now, is just fleeting. I mean, as you get older, you realize that more and more. And whether I live till next week or whether I live another 25 years, I don't know. That's up to God. But I definitely know that I'm going to heaven someday, and I'm going to see Him one-on-one. And this has made me realize the blessed life that I really have had.
I'm convinced there's purpose in every trial, that God never wastes a hurt in our life. Do you see purpose and meaning in this?
I'd rather have not had to go through this, but I know people, friends, people at Sunnybrook and people that are family and friends that have gone through a lot worse than I've gone through. But I've seen their faith grow because of the trials that they've been going through, the hurts and the illnesses and so forth. People that have gone before us. Once we know the Lord and have that feeling in our hearts that you're going to go somewhere else, it's not going to be like this. It's going to be much, much better. It makes each day go by a lot easier.